And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be talking about a party game. We're going to be trying to create and finish certain phrases that you all know and love. Whether you know them or not, you're going to be spitting them out. You're going to feel really smart. This is the opposite of Jeopardy. You will feel very smart after this game's over because they're all very easy but fun. We're looking at Kanito here from Yellow Games. It says 2 to 12 players. You could probably even play it with more, actually. And it's a speed-based game where you're trying to get things as fast as you can. No phrases, with some crazy twists of challenges. Let's take a look. In Kanito, first thing you'll do is you will split up into teams. It's best to be in 2 teams if there's a lot of players, and each team gets to pick their cool little icon guy there. You can have more teams than 2, but I find it best with 2. Now inside this Kanito bag comes with a lot of cardboard tiles that are different shapes and double-sided. You get to create your own modular board, so every time you play the game, the scoring track will look different, and the types of questions you'll get, easy, medium, and hard, will be different. So here I've built starting with the start tile, ending with the end tile, and I've chosen which ones. This is probably about a medium length game. It uses almost half the tiles in the game. Now notice that not only the tiles different colors, but some of them will have blanks and some of them will have these cool little challenges. I like the game with a challenge, so every one of these has a challenge. We'll talk about what those are later. You'll see different colors here, red, green, and yellow, and we'll have green, yellow, and red questions, easy, medium, and hard, and some challenges. So let's talk about how the game works. So one of the teams will start, and someone on that team will take the color of card they're on. They're on green, we're going to take a green card. And someone from the other team is going to flip the timer. This is a 1-minute timer. So that person has 1 minute to try to get as many of these cards all the way correct as they can. Basically, there are certain phrases, and we're trying to get you to say them. For example, so the timer would get flipped, I'm covering the answers, and you would have to complete these phrases. She sells seashells by the, you'd probably say seashore. And also tells me the clues. This is kids, this is expression, and this is books and comics. So this one says, over my dead, of course, body. How to win friends and influence people. Now, if at some point I want to pass, I can get rid of this card, but I have to at least read the first one first. And because you need to get all 3 of these right for this to be correct. So let's just say we got them all correct, I would go to the next one and I'd say, level the playing field. How much is that doggy in the window? Make a dream come true. Good. It's fun to stay at the, and now if they can't get this, you can sing, you can hum. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Cut to the chase. The Black Hills of, ooh, I don't know this one. I might have to pass. South Dakota. So now if they don't know it, you can do gestures. You can pretty much say everything except like rhymes with or sounds like. You can do charades. You could do pretty much anything you can do to get them to say that. So let's say we got these 3 cards and the minute was up. Then this team would go 1, 2, 3, which means next time they're gonna have to draw a red card. Now let's say the other team goes and they got one more than us. They 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's talk about the differences between these 2. On the next turn, this team is gonna get the red cards. Now the red cards aren't any harder of the phrases. You're the one that I want, bet your bottom dollar, pat a cake, baker's man, 6 degrees of separation, keep your eye on the ball. They're not any harder, but there's more of them. So the green cards have 3 that you have to get right in order to get a point. The yellow cards have 4, and the red cards have 5, so it makes it just harder to get them. Therefore, if you're on a space like this, you don't want to get just 1 right, you want to get 2 or 3 right, and you definitely don't want to get 6 right, because then you'll be stuck there. So sometimes you might actually hold back to get an easier card for next round. So let's talk about the challenges. If this player started here, he's going to pull a green card and a challenge. Now the team that's going to be reading the normal cards first pulls the top challenge card, and they say, do you want me to read number 1, 2, or 3? and they pick one, and then they tell them what the challenge is. So we're going to get one of these challenges, but it's going to be for this whole set of cards, this round. Blind test. Your answers must be completed the expressions with their eyes closed. That's not tough unless they're doing gestures. Singing. Your whole team must sing their words. Answers that are not sung do not count. Superman. My niece got this one. It was awesome. You get ×2 movement, so you get 2 points for each card. But when you're standing with one arm stretched forward and one arm stretched back, if you lose your balance, you cannot complete the current card face. So you have to stay balanced the whole time. Very tough. Let's look at some more. Louder. Your answers must be shout their answers. You must, right behind you, read the expression with your back turned to your team. So you can't, it's harder to hear them, it's harder, you can't look at their lips. Whose turn is it? Each team member draws an expression card. In turn, each team member reads one expression from his or her card. The others answer. So again, it just causes a little bit more confusion. Double-de-double. Your answers must say each syllable of the response twice. For example, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Oh man, that would be really tough. Reverse. You must read the expressions backwards. Snow White and the Seven becomes Seven, the, and White Snow. That's really hard. Chatter. Each opposing player chooses one team members. They try to distract your team by having conversations without yelling. That's just crazy. Hand over mouth. An opponent covers your mouth with his or her hand while you read the expressions. Fistcuffs. Do not advance this turn. Instead, all teams move back one space per the card face that you complete. So you can see that it's quite random, quite crazy, and quite nuts. Those are the challenges. And you continue doing this until one team reaches the end and that team wins. I have a house variant that each team must have the same amount of turns because one team's going to go first and then see who wins. If they're tied, do a tiebreaker. That's it. That's Canito. All right, well, there's Canito. If you're looking for a traditional party style game that I'm surprised that maybe it is there, but this is a game that I would expect to find maybe in a mass market store like a Walmart or a Target in the party game aisle, because this feels like that. Doesn't make it a bad game. It's actually quite fun. People feel like they're getting things accomplished. Sometimes in party games, things are too hard and people don't want to get put on the spot. Takes those out of there because all the phrases are pretty easy. If you can't get them, you can use all sorts of gestures and you can hum and you can sing. So it's easy, it's just really how fast can you do it. And then it has that little strategy aspect as to, okay, we've got 3 cards down. If we move up 3 now, we're gonna be on a green square next time. If we get one more right, we're gonna be on a red square. Time's almost up, let's just stop and wait. We got 10 seconds left, let's wait. So there's a little bit of strategy there too. But it's very simple and very easy. The polarizing part of this game, so with the game the way it is, the polarizing part is the challenges, okay? So half the people I played this with, when I played it with multiple groups, half of them hated the challenges. All they wanted was the easy questions. They want to blah, blah, blah. They want to bring them out. They didn't want all the crazy challenges. The other half loved the challenges. I was in that camp. For me, personally, the game was just okay. It was a fun party game. It's not one that I would want to pull out all the time without the challenges. With the challenges, for me, it added a ton of fun, a ton of excitement, and a lot of laughter into the game. Because when the other team is doing something, it's a minute timer, and a minute might not sound like a lot, but when you're ripping through phrases and stuff, and of course you can try to think to yourself, do I know it, do I know it? But when you're sitting there for a minute without the challenges, it's not nearly as exciting, or there's a little more downtime, where when they're doing the challenges and someone's trying to balance and put one hand up and one leg up like Superman, or they're trying to speak in gibberish or pig Latin, or someone's covering their mouth, it just, for me, that's what makes this game fun, is the challenges. So every time I play, every tile has a challenge on it. Some people might not, but I like the aspect that they allow you to balance that out, both the length of the game and how hard the questions are, red, green, or blue, and how many challenges there are. So you can kind of tailor this game to the style of your group, and it's fun. People like it. Another thing I like about it is you can take the cards. A lot of times we like to take our party games and just take the cards on the road trips and rip through them, and this would be one of those good ones. You wouldn't need the board, you wouldn't need anything. You just go through the phrases and try to get a bunch, and that'd be fun too. So it's a pretty good party game. It's not gonna be my party game of the year by any means, but it is, for a traditional party game, fun and adaptive. That's Canito.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.